One, two, three. Rock, paper, scissors. Hello. That is hello. Did I say hello? I meant halo. If I did say hello, whereas I will no longer be employing the uses thereof. Will be using that greeting word of hello after having received an epiphany, revelation of vision, and that was only after having read that being of a pamphlet or leaflet, being of which was saying in more words or less. So I paraphrase and not quote exactly that when a person greets another person with that the greeting word of hello, then you're actually wishing a curse upon that other person. So much rather instead, I will substitute that of the greeting word hello with that being which would replace it being that of the greeting word of halo. But I will still continue to employ the uses thereof or use the greeting words of hey and hi. Nevertheless, I say and I'll state for the record. Yes. Hello, everybody, social media family, and or any visitors to that being in my own personal channel and our chat room. And being of whatsoever races and being of the old and young alike of both two sexual genders of males and females representing not only that being of the human species, but then nevertheless that of those being of some such, but then likewise as well all the same that being of the global community within this post 911 era of the new millennium, this apocalyptic day and age, in which the doomsday clock is now at a couple few minutes of midnight compared on to our formerly previously or prior to then. It was at a quarter midnight for these rather biblically prophetic times. And although any visitors to my own personal channel and or chat room could possibly become or be of whatsoever or whatever walks of life, factions of society, or lifestyle preferences, but then none of any members to my social media family of any subscribers can or could possibly become or be that of the same of said in question for the last mention, of the former, previous, or prior mention. And if there are any of the likes, some of such being of whom are affiliated or associated with and are representing that being whatsoever or whatever, however said, or walks of life, factions of society, lifestyle preferences. But then just as long as you don't come off in here. That's for my own atmosphere, my domain for social media broadcast and our video, as well as for my own personal chat room in our channel, as that being of some sort of such a type of a character of a negative internet troll, then you're more than welcome to come as you are. Okay. But then, nevertheless, let me say, and I'll state for the record, that if I were to become subjected to experiencing a negative internet troll, then first of all, I will silence your chat. And then second of all, I will block you. And most being of whom I block, they are blocked permanently compared to the few that I permit that of a chance to re-enter. There was something else I was about to say before I was so rudely interrupted by just another proverbial neighbor from hell, idiot, and or nutcase, but then do disregard or ignore the likes of whom are attempting to sabotage this present social media broadcast or video of mine, as stupid does and stupid feels. What was I about to say though before I was so rudely interrupted? Something about, let me see. Hmm. Can't remember for the life of me. Sorry about that, y'all. The devil is busy, but may God still be in the blessing business. Something about, let me see. Well, anyway, though, oh yeah, something about, I think this was it, unless I'm mistaken. But then I need 4,000 subscribers before I were to get paid for doing any some of such excuse me, social media broadcasts or videos or whatsoever, whatever source or types. Otherwise, until further notice, then as of the present given time, I will only be doing that video broadcast, that social media broadcast of videos, is what I meant to say. Disregard the interruptions, what I say again. Being of which would only be of a, what you call religious, supernatural, spiritual format or nature. Well, every now and then I may do a secular social media broadcast or video, but it would be less likely compared to some such of another format, as I had said and I stated for the record. Being of the same of the said in question of the former previous prior mentioned. Other than that, then whatsoever or whatever I could speak upon, be the one subject matter of a topic of discussion to be debated, be it of controversy or not, of a given argument with the many different views and opinions to be affiliated associated with and representing thereof, and be it of that of a problem or dilemma of a plague upon any given society or country or nation within the global community that has yet to be resolved, if it has not been already or not. But then don't kill the messenger. I'm just here to deliver. And hopefully with that much less usages of expletives or profanity, much rather than instead of with that much more cuss words to simply say. And therefore, hopefully likewise, with that much less of a chance to be playing the part of the devil's advocate, as the lesser two evils than a prodigal son, whereas the worst of two evils is any of those closet devil worshippers of the worstest sorcerer types who make up the majority of churchgoers of whatsoever religious denominations, from the pools to the pulpits of members and visitors alike, of those supposed so-called holier than thous, of modern day religious Pharisees and our Sadducees, of wolves and sheep's clothing, of snakes in the grass who come off like angels of light, like the devil and his demons. And whereas I myself am not trying, I'm not wanting to absent-mindedly, rather than put like that, drink the Jonestown Kool-Aid mix of a version of any of those dime a dozen false brethren, the false prophets and our antichrist, fleecing the flocks and stealing money from the offering trays, tithe offering trays, for their own ulterior motives or out of some such thoughts for their own self-interest, not thinking about how by they themselves doing so it hurts others or harms them. And now that I've gotten the preliminaries, been the basic introduction out of the way with the slight interjection, so I say, in the form of a question and asking, how are you all doing? Well, hopefully everyone is doing at least okay, if not better yet to be said, all right, or not best of all to be said, to be feeling blessed and stressed, more blessed and stressed, too blessed about to become or be stressed. You and yours, your family and friends, hopefully me and mine likewise as well, or all the same. Okay, moving right along, as our kissing cousins of the Brits, as in British or English would say, across the great waters of the Atlantic, who had given birth to our own supposed so-called democratic republic or democracy, being the USA, United States of America. But then, for starters, I would like to speak upon this particular subject matter, to disregard the stain on my, then that's not what I want you to focus on, y'all. Then how do y'all like my American flag? I am still a patriot, as you see, one of the Captain Americas. As I would like to speak upon some such of that of the or whatever I would say, that I speak the correct proper standing English grammar of not being of the American dialect or some such quality and quantity. Then I would like to speak upon the subject matter at hand for the present, being at which I have you know type footnotes about likewise as well all the same is to become or be the content of this present social media broadcast, video of mine, and to complement the title to some as such, Whereas there is that an increase of hate crimes of a physically violent nature, excuse me, being of which is being orchestrated, initiated, and or perpetrated against persons of age and descent, not only within the continental USA, United States of America, then worldwide or for the rest of the global community. Being that because certain persons stuck on stupid who are living in the pre-civil rights movement era have taken it upon themselves to violently physically assault or attack people or persons of Asian descent worldwide or within the global community. And that is wrong, just as wrong as if an extreme homophobe was to go about expressing himself or herself as a homophobe that is altogether different from the rest of us homophobes. Yes, I'm a homophobe, but not an extreme homophobe. I myself do not cater to the nonsense of an email that reads www.godhatesfags.com. And though I am quite a fan of some or such of their religious social media broadcasts or videos, being of the Westboro Baptist Church, but then I'm not a card-carrying member to it, being of some and such, and neither nor do I agree with them completely 100%. Because that email of theirs is rather ridiculously blasphemous, whereas the God of my own understanding doesn't or don't hate faggots. Otherwise, if he himself did, if he himself did, is what I meant to say, disregard the interruptions of the neighbor from hell, idiot, and or nutcase. But getting back to what I was saying, then because if the God of my own understanding, being of our Lord and Savior Christ, the Messiah, Deliverer, were to hate anybody, then he would no longer be God, he would be the devil. Whereas God is about love, the devil is about hate. And therefore, God couldn't give his life upon the cross of Calvary to save the lost souls of humankind unconditionally with his love. And speaking upon those matters now, but getting back to the original topic of discussion, or being of the argument at hand. And so we have some or such, the only reason why I mentioned that last, was to, give a comparison what is similar to some or such, being of which is experienced by others who have become subjected to similar soul, or that being the same kind of nonsense. Whereas violent persons who do not represent the rest of us, representing the global community, are not only ignorantly, verbally attacking peoples or persons of Asian descent, but then likewise, or worse yet, they are violently, physically assaulting or attacking peoples or persons of Asian descent in a rather obnoxious and unprovoked, not to mention socially unacceptable and or criminally illegal or unlawful kind of way, and that's wrong. And you characters had better stop that nonsense. And because the rest of us representing the global community, we will not tolerate it. We have a zero tolerance level for that nonsense. You hear? Cut the crap. Cut it. Take the cotton out of your ears and put in your mouth and listen to what I'm trying to say. We being of the rest of the global community or the world citizenry will not tolerate, not in the least, anybody who physically, violently assaults or attacks peoples or persons of Asian descent wherever and whenever in the world for whatever country or nation for this post 911 era of our new millennium or this apocalyptic day and age, and whereas the doomsday clock is now at a couple or a few minutes to midnight compared on to how formerly, previously, or prior to then it was at a quarter to midnight for these rather biblically prophetic times. We will not tolerate it, y'all or yours. You hear? And we will assist our local law enforcement officials as well as any official personnel of the legal system to get social justice for Asian peoples or Asian persons who are being targeted for that of hate crimes, of civil and or human rights violation offenses, or for that of socially unacceptable and or criminally illegal violent physical acts being of which are being orchestrated, initiated, and are perpetrated against their persons. So cut the crap out, man. Cut it out, Peoples or persons of Asian descent are not to be considered as the new persecuted Jews. You hear? Like Muslims are not to be considered as being of the new persecuted Jews or Jewish. Those supposed so-called Jews in the Middle East are not the real Jews. Anybody with half their marbles know that the real Jews are the black Hebrew Israelites and the black Rastafarians or blacks, Negroes of colors of African Americans or black Americans as we are. My piece of folks. But getting back to the original topic of discussion or the issue at hand, stop the nonsense or the madness. Cut the crap out, If I were to see an Asian person being violently, physically assaulted or attacked by another person in an unprovoked kind of way, then don't think for a minute that I wouldn't help that person. That is the person who's being attacked, being of an Asian person. Then, because if it is a civil and or human rights violation offense being orchestrated, initiated, or perpetrated against an Asian person, being of a hate crime, then anybody being of whom still considers oneself to be civilized and a fairly decent person and think of oneself as still possessing half one's marbles should intervene, if able to prevent an even worse hate crime to take place. Like, say, for example, a murder, or worse than that, a sexual assault or rape being orchestrated, initiated, or perpetrated against an Asian person, wherever and or whenever in the world, is wrong. The likes of you will be punished. Other than that, you all take care and be safe, be blessed. My stress, each and every one of you, my social media family, and the visitors to my chat room. Get God in your lives. His salvation. Peace.